The purpose of this video is to potentially help someone out there who is struggling in any way in their life, mentally. In the past, I've been very, very in the dumps, depressed, even suicidal at certain times, and I'm very proud to stand here and say that I'm a lot happier, and that I don't treat myself so serious, and I can laugh at myself, and that I really love life a lot, and that I love other people. And when I was depressed, I used to always think about how much I hated everybody, and that's really weird to say, but like I remember walking in school and just thinking about how much I didn't like the people around. And I've learned through the years that the people around you are a great reflection of you. And what you don't like about people around you often is a sign of something you don't like about yourself in a lot of ways, or some kind of reflection. So the reason I made this video today is because something happened to me today, and I wanted to share a little story. The question and the topic of today is really, how do you want to be remembered? I haven't made a video like this in a while, but I just felt really inspired to make this, so we'll just see what direction it goes. But I was walking with these two young guys that I had met at Barnes & Noble. Oddly enough, I was in the personal development aisle looking for a relationship book that my wife and I were going to read, and actually I was looking for How to Win Friends and Influence People, but I was looking later on for that other book. But I met these guys, and they were looking at a book. It was like a subconscious mind book, and I was like, what kind of book is that? And I just started the conversation, and it led to a friendship. We talked for 20 minutes, and today we went to this place, this park, this place called Swallow Cliff, really beautiful park, and we kind of walked around, and we were just talking about life. And for whatever reason, towards the end of the conversation, I was walking with them, and I was like, hey guys, like, I asked them, like, where do you want to be in 5 years? Like, if everything goes to plan, if you had no fear in your life and you could achieve anything you want, what would you be doing? And how do you, like, what would you have in your life? And how do you want to be? Like, how do you want to be known? How do you want to be recognized? And how do you want other people to look at you? That kind of stuff. And so they were answering these questions, and I was thinking about it like, wow, I haven't thought about this in a long time. But I thought back to when I graduated college 5 years ago, and I actually reflected on one of my first YouTube videos on here was like a Matthew McConaughey journaling prompt video. And I reflected on all these questions, and I realized that a lot of what I said and wrote down 5 years ago like came true. And I became like that person in a lot of ways, and I still have so much growth to do. I'm definitely not standing here as someone who's coming off as knowing it all or anything like that. I think if anything, the more people that I meet who are successful in life, the more I know that I'm just in the very, very beginning stages. But me asking these guys these questions reminded me of a couple different questions that I asked them as well. I said, how do you want to be remembered when you pass on? If you were somehow able to come see your funeral, like, and you saw the obituary note in the newspaper that was like a brief summary about who you were and how people remembered you, what would you want to be remembered by, and what would you want that to say? And I just thought if I could ask them that question, I thought maybe I might as well ask you as well. So I figured, I'd ask you, where do you want to be in 5 years time? Like, what do you want your life to look like? What is the day-to-day going to look like? Where do you want to be? Like, are you living in the same place? Are you living in a different place? What kind of stuff are you doing in your life? What are you married? Do you have kids? Do you have grandkids? Or like thinking detailed about that reality and what you want it to be, because I really am a believer that anything is possible, that we can live however we want, and there are vehicles to take us to those places if we so wish to put the thought out there into the universe and ask God for that reality. It will bring it to us, or he'll bring us something that will help. So I'd ask you that, and I also ask you, if you were reading your obituary letter today, what do you want it to say? And if you reflect on those things, and you don't have to, but I hope that you're living in line with that. And if you're not, maybe it's worth thinking about changing some things to live more in line with whatever it is that you write, whatever it is that you say you want in your life, that you say you want to be. And I'd challenge you to say, I don't really care how old you are. Like, yes, I'm 26 years old, and I'm a big dreamer. I always have been. And getting around big dreamers has always been the key unlock for me. I just had a really good chat with my with my boss, Ben Patrick. The guy just motivates the heck out of me day in, day out. He just works so hard to help other people. And that's one of the things that I wrote, when I reflect on this, and I've been thinking about it today, and I really should sit down and think about it more. But I would say that I want to be remembered as a leader, and I want to be remembered as someone who valued helping other people more than he valued his income and his money. Because of course money is very, very important to be stable and strong and secure in your life. But if money is the most important thing and you lose sight of that value of helping human beings, I feel like that's actually partially the root cause of a lot of society's problems. People just care so much about making money and doing better. And unfortunately, a lot of people are making all this money, and the causes that they're making it for are really, unfortunately no good. Take a drive through 90% of USA towns. 99%, and you're going to be very dissatisfied with the businesses that we have running, operating. It's just McDonald's after vape shop after occasionally a grocery store. That's great. We got to eat. But unfortunately, society's really set up to have a lot of businesses that don't really do anything for helping the human spirit thrive. And so, yeah, I think we need to change this world. We need to really step up and live better lives and be willing to step out of the box and look a little weird, like stand in the forest and ask people weird questions on YouTube. I'm just trying to do something today because I felt motivated and inspired by my conversation with Ben and by my conversation with these two young fellas that I was talking with who were in the early 20s, and just looking at them and seeing how when I was 20 I was depressed and I almost wanted to end my life, and just seeing guys who were already ahead of the game is so inspiring. So I love you. Whoever's watching this, I really love you. I hope that any of this resonates with you. I hope you get inspired to maybe do some journaling on these questions if you feel called to do that. And know that, I feel like if you know what you want to be, if you know who you want to be, if you know how you want to be remembered, that's going to make it a lot easier to make decisions in your daily life about what you want to do. Let's just go. Let's keep going. Let's keep getting after it. Keep building what we're building. Keep creating what you want to create in your life. And I know you're made for more. So if you're struggling out there, know that I got your back. You ever need help, reach out to me. I'm here for you. Bye.